Shalom. Call law Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule and teach well, taught us this truth, the 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim on the four corners of this earth, risking their lives each and every week on the highways and the byways to wake up the hopefully elect. And to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification, come with another lesson. And this lesson is entitled, Don't Be Ashamed of This Truth. Be thankful for it. And I wanted to just start off saying that we are the true Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are all the same people. This is not a religion. This is our heritage. You know what I'm saying? This is, we are the people of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? From Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know. So, with this truth, I'm speaking to the Akim, you know what I'm saying, that's pushing this truth, that's risking their lives each and every week, daily, on the highways and the byways, doing videos on a weekly basis, and just pushing this word out, just period, you know what I'm saying. We should never be ashamed of how this word is being brought out. If it's being brought out, raw and uncut, or if it's being brought out, you know what I'm saying, with a little tender and mercy, or if this is being brought out with some love, and it's for our people, no other nation, just the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because life in Babylon, man, this is not living. This is horrible. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say this truth is like a sweet savor to our spirit. You know what I'm saying? So we shouldn't be ashamed of how we bringing this truth out. We need to be, grateful and thankful that Yahweh Shem Shai placed it on our spirit and woke us up to this truth. You know what I'm saying? And let me go to the first, let me go to Mark chapter 8. And let me grab that. Slakia. Matthew chapter 8, verse 36, starting at 36. For what should a man, Slakia, let me read that back again. For what should it profit a man if he should gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Verse 37. Or what should a man give in exchange for his soul? Verse 38. And whosoever therefore should be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also should the Son of Man be ashamed when he come in his glory of his Father with the holy angels. Yeah. So when he comes back, you know what I'm saying, speaking of Yahushua and the holy angels, he's coming back to redeem the hopefully elect. You know what I'm saying? And we should take this truth very serious. You know what I'm saying? Wholeheartedly, you know what I'm saying? Applying it to our daily lives, you know what I'm saying? We should not be worrying about what people think of how we bring this truth out, of how we receive this truth, or how we walking on our daily lives. You know what I'm saying? If you cutting people off in your lives that you don't want them around you because they're not believing in the same thing you believe in. Now, I'm not saying you can't be respectful and cordial and nice to those people, but if it's something that's hindering you from this truth, you know what I'm saying, because they are offended of what your walk in this truth, and how you're bringing this truth out to edify the elect, the hopefully elect, and the 1/3. then don't be ashamed, you know what I'm saying? Because 2/3, you know what I'm saying, and especially the self-proclaimed so-called white man, you know, they're gonna feel, you know, a certain way about this truth. So we need to stand on 10 toes down, you know what I'm saying? Pushing this truth, tearing down these strongholds, you know what I'm saying? That's been pushed to our people from generation after generation, basically after our forefathers came over here, you know, once we got off them boats, you know what I'm saying? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? You know, the Native Americans was already over here, the Northern Kingdom, but we came over here after that, you know. So it's been situations, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, it's been all kind of things mentioned, you know, from stars that are in the limelight, you know what I'm saying, you know, saying some things about who we are, you know what I'm saying, and who the real people of the Bible are. But what happened? They had to apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? The small hats made them apologize, you know what I'm saying? See, they were ashamed, you know, of who they really are. And the reason why they did that is because they had to, you know, take a step back and think, man, I'm going to lose my bag, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to lose all the materialistic things that Esau, so-called white man, the devil, has promoted to our people to have, you know, sold them a dream, which they don't realize that what you did was you basically verse 36, you know what I'm saying? And repeat that back again. Verse 36, Matthew chapter 8, verse 36. For what should it profit a man if he should gain the whole world? See, because I think it was 2 stars, Kyrie and Kanye, you know what I'm saying? What did they do? You know what I'm saying? They gain the whole world on this side, but in return, they lose their own soul, you know, because they signed that contract with the devil, you know what I'm saying? And they had to go back and apologize because guess what? They was ashamed of this truth. They was ashamed of who they were and who they are. But let me tell you this, Esau, we not ashamed. We going to keep on pushing this truth. And we going to tell you to your face, you devil, that we know you stole our heritage and we taking it back. You know what I'm saying? You know, we taking it back. But the reason why they had to, you know, apologize and everything is because the small hats, they froze their account. They froze their account, so they didn't have no money. You know what I'm saying? Their fame was going away. And that's what they're in light. And we know it's going to come a time, you know what I'm saying, that we're not going to be able to hide our identity anymore. You know what I'm saying? Making these videos, we're going to have to show our face. You know what I'm saying? But we're already doing that anyway on the highways and the byways. You know, the Akim is, you know. But you know, so you see, when you have stars, you know, basically speaking out, it's a different effect, you know what I'm saying? You know, these people are well known everywhere. So you see, it's basically a different effect, you know what I'm saying, when you have like well known stars, you know who we are, but if they present it and push it out there, it's gonna wake up a lot of people. It's gonna wake up the masses. It's gonna wake them up. But when you just have, you know, the brothers out here on the camps, you know what I'm saying, speaking the truth, you know, they're not, the weight is not as heavy, you know what I'm saying? But we know in our eyes, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, weight is heavy. So we know that this is being brought to the light, you know. And it's all because we standing on our faith, you know what I'm saying? Because we know troubling times is coming, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's why we standing in great boldness, you know what I'm saying, with this truth, you know, looking at the enemy looking at our enemy, letting our enemy know that, hey, we're going to keep on pushing this truth to Yahweh Shema Shai comes back. Because we know this place is done with, you know. Let's go to Wisdom Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. It's not going to be a long video. Then should the righteous man stand in great boldness. I'm sorry. Slacking wisdom. Wisdom. Solomon chapter 5 verse 1. Then should the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. Yeah. See, the small hats did not like what, you know what I'm saying, Kyrie and Kanye had said. So that's why they went into they try to demonize him. And we can't worry about what the small hats think, you know what I'm saying? Or these niggas, or the heathens too, you know what I'm saying? You know, we know who we are. We the Hebrew Israelites. We the so-called Negro. We the Hebrew Israelites. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We not African American, so we don't feel no shame in this truth. We stand in great boldness in front of the ones who afflicted us. We speaking to you, the small hats. You know what I'm saying? That's why we calling you out, devil. You know what I'm saying? You know, for all the wickedness that you've done on this earth, we calling you out. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 10. You know. Cursed be that do the work of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai deceitfully, and cursed be he that keep back his sword from the blood. Yeah. So preaching this word and spreading this gospel is a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? But you have to, be doing it with the 100%, persuade to give your all, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, no matter what someone else is thinking, you know what I'm saying? So don't worry about what these people is feeling, feeling about how you bring this out, hurting their feelings, telling, someone that, hey, that you going into slavery, one day, the heathens, the other nations, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, man, we're working on our own salvation, fear and trembling, you know what I'm saying? So to hell with these low-level mindset people, especially our people, man, these 2/3 niggas that want to stay here in Babylon, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't realize Esau is about to show his true horns, you know what I'm saying? Because we know this truth is getting to him, man, you know what I'm saying? Like Hebrews 4 and 12, you know what I'm saying? We know this truth is getting to him, It's cutting him up, you know what I'm saying? To the soul and spirit, it's cutting him, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have to, you know what I'm saying, be ashamed of nothing, Esau. And we not ashamed. We gonna stand wholeheartedly, on everything we say, because we know that your kingdom is coming down, you know what I'm saying, Esau. We know you about to go buck wild in this place, man. These people, man, you about to show your true identity, who you are. And that's coming real soon, because your kingdom is on its last leg. So we're going to let our, you know what I'm saying, everything we say, I'm going to get that. We're going to let our yea be yea. Matthew chapter 5, and I'm going to close on that. Matthew chapter 5, verse 37. Matthew chapter 5, verse 37, but let your communication be yea and yea, nay and nay, for whatsoever is more than these come of evil. Yeah. So we ain't ashamed of nothing, man. We ain't ashamed of this truth, you know what I'm saying? We letting our yea be yea and our nay be nay. Straight to your face, you devil. And that is why Kyrie and Kanye, you know what I'm saying? They could not keep it real. They couldn't keep it real, you know what I'm saying? They had to go back and explain, and apologize and say, well, we were wrong for that. We didn't mean that, you know what I'm saying? No, we ain't doing that. We coming straight to you and telling you that we the people of the Bible, and we know who we are, and we know who you are. So we cutting right to the chase and letting you know, you devil, that you going down. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep on pushing this truth. And nothing you can do to stop it, because it's all through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So we not ashamed of anything, but we're thankful for it. So I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises, call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Rakakadash, double honors, apostles and elders and bishops, that ruled well and teach well, that taught us this truth, the 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim on the four corners of the earth, risking their lives each and every week on the highways and the byways to wake up their hopefully elect. And to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification, hope this was edifying. And this is your brother Dawadah. Shalom.